On. There you go, music's off. That's some French ass rap right there.
Yeah, yeah.
Yes.
This guy living in France, living beautiful life in France.
Yeah.
For now.
All right. Yeah. Though, before we get going here, let's thank iRide Supplements, our premier sponsor of the podcast.
Yeah.
Code BENT15 to save at checkout. There. You've been using the iRide stuff, Chris?
Oh yeah, I've been trying it out, putting it through its paces. Doing
Nice.
some test runs. I gotta say it's not only tasty, but I can notice the effects.
Yeah, it's good, and they just came out with the new Hydro Fuel. So, I mean, I used to be a big supplement, like take my vitamins and stuff, but you pretty much get all. You get like vitamin D, zinc, magnesium, plus all the micronutrients in the greens. You're pretty set. Like you don't need to take a bunch of pills anymore. If you're taking this stuff daily, it's pretty good.
Yeah, seriously, it's got everything that I used to keep in a jar.
Yeah.
It's just clogged up my entire
Yeah.
pantry.
Potassium, magnesium, zinc.
Yeah, even with weird ones like ginkgo biloba.
Oh yeah, it has
yeah.
glutamine and stuff too. Yeah, so yeah, you're pretty much covering all your bases with the greens and the hydro fuel, and it tastes good too. Not a lot of sugar in it, so it's pretty sweet.
So get yourself some iRide with that bent. Save yourself some money with that bent code BENT15.
Yep, BENT15. Save yourself 15%. Yeah, and also we got the merch online. If you like listen to these podcasts, buy some merch
Yeah.
so we can keep doing this.
Help support it. Yeah. Support everything local.
Yeah, it's
Everything at
awesome.
the track.
Yeah, for
Yeah.
sure.
No, guys, we go worldwide.
Oh, worldwide. Yeah, we're worldwide right now. It's our first Zoom or I guess failed Skype attempt. It's just audio. We got a picture of Jasiek, but but that's all right. We got he's here and we're talking to him. So yeah, and we also got Todd in the studio. Just come on in.
What's going on, Todd?
All right, Jasiek, what's up, buddy? You're in France. You're still in the hospital and rehab. How's that been going?
So I'm living beautiful hospital life for over a year now. It's been year and 4 or 5 months since my accident, and basically every day was the same, except the adventures that I was lucky enough to go sometimes every weekend.
Yeah, so you get a little what do you call it? Like you get to go for little conjugal visits or whatever.
So, because the team in the hospital is pretty young, they are pretty much my age, younger, little bit older. There is lots of students coming over, and with lots of people I got on a friendly basis. That I'm not like a patient. I'm more like a friend here, and I'm invited to some parties or to go out and hang out in a city. I was lucky enough to see most of the Paris from the perspective of the local people, not from the perspective of tourists.
Yeah, that's cool. That's cool.
Yeah.
What's really cool, I'm on a wheelchair now that I'm still really not used to, that I should like plan my trip, and Paris is very not friendly for wheelchairs.
A lot of stairs.
And I got stuck in the metro a couple times.
Oh yeah.
2 times actually. Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah. Every time something is happening, and from normal trip to the city, it's becoming an adventure.
Yeah,
And I've got stories.
That's cool. Yeah, so just I guess for anyone, we're not going to go back into like the whole injury and everything. If you want to listen to that podcast, that was episode I think 17 or something.
That was a good podcast.
Yeah, that's one of my favorite ones we've ever done. That one's really good. So yeah, go back and check that one out.
And speaking of the merch, get yourself a beautiful life shirt.
Oh yeah, the beautiful life shirts.
Got mine on today still. So.
Oh, you're still wearing
Oh, yeah.
Nice. Yeah, those are nice shirts. Yeah, sold quite a few of those. So yes,
Yeah.
all those sales go towards the Jasiek's recovery. So
Sosa did a great job on those t-shirts.
yeah, sweet.
Thanks, Sosa, by the way.
Is your GoFundMe still open, or is that closed now?
So the page is still opened. For now, all the money we're going into or are going into rehabilitation process, because I've been progressing pretty much weekly for the whole year, and right now it's slowed down. but the progress is still visible. So one of the best achievements I got. Okay, so maybe I will say where I am at now.
'Kay.
After a year and a half, I can stand up. If I'm holding to something, my glutes muscle doesn't work, so I cannot really keep the position straight. On two crutches, I can walk for 8, 10, 15 minutes.
Oh.
I don't feel my legs very much, so I don't have sensibility, and I have to look on them where I put my steps. I don't feel where I put my steps. I have to see where I put my steps. So
Yeah.
that's really weird.
Yeah, I bet that sounds crazy. So you're basically able to move your legs from kind of your hips, or how do you like? Where are you moving your legs from?
I can move my legs towards my knees. There is no movement below the knees, but the doctors, they are feeling the muscle contraction, which is progressing, but it's not strong enough to move the foot up, so to shift the gears up.
Yeah, you can't shift the gears.
So you need a finger shifter now?
There will
Alta.
be a finger shifting.
Just get an Alta.
And yeah, get an Alta. You don't have to
there you
shift.
go. Actually,
You know, guys, that's very interesting project. I've never been into electric bikes, but I think that's the way for me to ride the bike without many changes.
Yeah, really. If you really wanted to, you could set up a rear brake.
Yeah, you can get that Stark Varg with the brake on the
Yeah, that's
handlebar.
that's the new one,
I'm
Stark.
thinking about that Stark Varg, that you can set up that bike with your iPhone as a 125, as a 4-stroke, as a 450, as an old 500. So in one bike you've got every possible bike ever been ridden.
Yeah, hopefully they're able to get some traction with that, because that's a really sounds like the Alta was pretty cool, but this one seems really legit. Like, yeah, that's pretty cool. You can swap your power, like how much power you want to ride a 125, you want to ride a 450, whatever. That's pretty cool. You can swap that around. So I think that's gonna be a sweet bike when that comes out. I think they're probably gonna be damn expensive, but
yeah, they're like 14 grand right now.
yeah.
Is it still like more of a, what do you call that? Like the GoFundMe version of a startup? What
No,
is that
they're
called?
rolling bikes out and stuff now.
Oh, are they?
Yeah,
I think
yeah.
they have like
the Starvac, it was made by the guy who was involved in a 24MX online shop.
Yeah.
They dominated the market. They are involved in most of the dirt bike races. They've got big bucks. They are huge players in the game.
Yeah, so yeah, I think they did like a pre-launch and they sold like way more than they expected out of the gate. So that's pretty sweet.
Just think about, you get to not only set up the bike exactly power plant wise, what size of wheel you want on it, what color you want the thing, you want a foot brake, hand brake, like what other bike do you get to customize your bike before you send it to you, right? You got to spend thousands of dollars to do something like that after the fact. So
that's a great idea.
I think that's kind of cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I'm already missing the part when you are hanging out with your buddies and like solving a problem or some parts. There is no more jetting. There is no more asking how, what jet you've got on. Like, how is the pipe working?
Yeah.
Now you'll be like, how many percentage you've got on
yeah, what coating do you have in
it? At least you can maybe that gives you more resources to really mess around with suspension.
Yeah, I got a feeling it's going to be just as much work, but instead of working in the garage, you're going to work at a laptop to troubleshoot your bike.
And don't worry, you'll still bust up your knuckles changing tires. Like, that's still going to happen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But the suspension, I don't know if you guys heard, but that new KTM, that adventure bike, is as a production bike. Got lots of settings and tricks from the GP bikes.
Yeah.
And there is so much electronic involved these days that you're basically setting up what's the percentage of the suspension you want.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's insane actually.
Well,
and so everything goes to electronic, and you'll be tuning up your suspension from the laptop. or from the even phone very, very soon.
I think soon it'll be even handlebar. Like you're tuning the suspension on the track. You can,
that's
release air pressure or whatever as the moto goes on and it builds up. Or
and I'm sure they'll figure out so you don't even need to, right?
It'll just read a temperature and release whatever it needs, or stiffen up the compression, whatever.
GPS map the track so it'll know when the big hits are and everything.
Yeah,
it'll be like the Tesla.
Yeah, pretty soon you won't have to just set it on autopilot and just hang on. Lean. But
you'll be sitting in a garage on your kid's bike with the laptop, and you'll be telling everyone that you are preparing his bike for the race tomorrow.
Yeah,
pretty much.
I don't know. I'm not. I'm kind of like. I do like the mechanical. Like. I like. I don't really. I'm not really looking forward to electric bikes, but I think it definitely is going to be something that's necessary with like the restrictions and government and sound and shit.
I think once you ride one too, it might change your mind. I think the power delivery of it is going to be something that you can't deny.
It's going to be so weird though. It's going to be like a pole position where it's just like it's like all you can hear is the chain slap. It's going to be so weird. I think
for arena cross it's going to be epic.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm having a hard time getting around not having gears or a clutch.
Yeah,
I think some of them are going to come out with the clutch and modulation.
That will be new school of riding technique on those bikes. Like before you had 2 strokes and then you had 4 strokes and you have to change your riding style and riding technique.
Yeah.
And now you will have to learn how to ride the electric bike because there is no engine braking that much. The rear wheel will act differently on the braking bumps.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
Just think about waking up at 7 a.m. and not hearing some mini dad.
That's already here. Thank God that's here.
Yeah, thank God they went first for the 50s because those things are. You hear them go through the pits.
Yeah. I honestly don't know why they didn't do 50s like 10 years ago.
Yeah, really. Right,
and I don't know why some of the other big brands haven't already gotten on it. Like
Honda brought one out.
Honda's finally coming around.
It doesn't look anything like the KTM one though, but it's like half the price. So
is it?
Yeah.
That's good.
Yeah, you need an entry level thing.
It doesn't matter because 80% of the kids who are starting the dirt biking adventure are not going into racing.
Yeah, for sure. And give them a better price point. Like I think that the KTM or the Husky E50 is like $6,000 or something. And then the Honda's like $3,000. So I think that's a great like entry level bike for a kid, right?
Of course.
Yeah.
Of course, it will be accessible for more people and it will help grow the sport.
Totally. Not every kid needs that race ready 50, right? Like I know when I first got on a bike, a PW50 was more than enough the first while.
Yeah.
I can't believe they still have a PW50. It's the longest running production bike ever, I'm pretty sure.
It's the same since like 99, right? Yeah, PW50. I can't hear myself.
You can't hear yourself? I can
Maybe
hear
it's just
you.
my headphones.
Your headphones go
I have like these noise canceling. So maybe
Jasiek, what was your first bike?
My first bike was a Polish production 50cc. It was called Simpson. With like 10 inches wheel, 10 inches wheel, 2-stroke 50cc, and I was 10 years old when I got it. It was 2-gear bike. It was like a moped, but not a scooter.
So it was a 50, you said?
It was 50, yeah.
Huh. Yeah, we probably never even seen something like that.
I still got that bike.
No way! You should send us a picture of it.
I've got that bike and it's registered.
No.
You can ride it on the street.
Yeah, you can ride it on the street and like adult. It's not a small bike, so adult people can like almost comfortably ride on it.
Oh yeah.
Does it have suspension and stuff, or is it just like
there is suspension. There is forks up front, and there is that dual shock on the back.
Oh, yeah.
I've got that put it in pieces to restore it.
Nice.
Jeez. Yeah. Who hangs on to their childhood bike like that? Like that's a commitment.
Yeah, no kidding.
Yeah, and that bike was owned by my uncle and my other uncle. So this is in a family since left the dealership.
Crazy.
Jeez.
Yeah.
So
I think it's 1982.
no way. I'm just looking forward for electric bikes so we can just bomb Fish Creek.
Yeah.
We can go mountain biking and put little Cody on the back and this E50 can follow me through Fish Creek.
Yeah. Well, even just think about the track now. Like we're not getting, or we're getting all kinds of noise complaints and stuff now, right? You go electric, that goes away. It's just the dust then, and I mean they'll never shut up about that.
Nah.
But like a lot of people with just private properties can't ride their bikes because of the noise.
Well, even think about your dad's place there. Like your neighbors get kind of ticked off if there's more than one person out there.
Yeah, our neighbors like completely they used to be like super friendly, and then I started riding and they shunned us. They would not speak to us as a kid. But that would be sweet. Like even like there in Fish Creek there's those couple big original farm lots we were looking at the other day.
Yeah.
Riding out, you could have like an corner track. You could even set up a little even if you had like a decent sized property in the city, you could carve out a figure 8 in your backyard.
I think my dad's property is big enough.
Yeah,
for a
totally.
figure 8.
Well, you could have gone like around the trampoline, back of, like you could set something up. Same with my dad's yard. I'm sure we would have had something going. Although he's a little particular about his lawn.
He's got some pretty nice grass. So.
Yeah,
that's pretty cool. Okay, so Jasiek, you've been in. Are you in the same? Because the first one you went to. I know you said you went, then you got like a little break after your first little bit there. You went to like Paris Supercross and did you go to another race too?
So I went to watch Paris Supercross, and that was the best racing I've ever seen in my life.
Oh, that's sweet.
Like, no joke, the corner speed those guys got, it's crazy. Like it's not like Supercross, it's not like motocross.
Yeah.
It is much faster. Those 180 U-turns, he is just carrying the speed from the moment of entering the corner. That's crazy.
Yeah. Is that the first time you've been to a Supercross?
I've seen arena cross, but it's nothing like Supercross.
Yeah. That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
And then you went. I thought you said you were going to another race after that. Did you go to like ISDE or something?
No, I went. I wanted to go to see ISDE last year, but I just went to the Super Enduro race in Poland, the opening round. This is my favorite racing to watch, like Super Enduro and Hard Enduro series. This is kind of my style of riding, so I really enjoy watching and following the races, and wanted to see a few more rounds. But the problem was with my admission to the hospital, because I came home in December, and the time I was coming back to France, there was double-header race in Germany that I really wanted to go, and I think a week earlier it was the race in Hungary that was on my list, but something popped out and I couldn't watch that race.
Oh, okay. So you're back in the same hospital you were in before that?
I am back in the same rehabilitation clinic, back in the same hospital.
What's it, I guess you're kind of lucky you're not in Poland right now. What's the scene like over there? Do you know?
So, I think there is over 2 million immigrants in Poland right now. And the people who've got money, they left and spread into whole Europe. There is so many cars with the Ukrainian license plates here in Paris that I've seen. But in Poland, we as a community of people, we are helping the immigrants. They are getting the donations of everything you basically need for the whole existence, because they left with the backpack if they are lucky.
Yeah.
So you're coming to the different country with your backpack if you're lucky. So there is a need for everything.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Whatever. So if people can, they take them home. all the expo centers, they are transferred with the military beds for immigrants. And there is like huge help from the local people into the immigrants.
That's good that the world's like helping each other out at least a little bit, because we know how nasty it can get with refugees and stuff like that.
Yeah, I think everyone's like kind of aware of the situation, and
it's crazy. I've never seen like anything like that. Like if you go to the like the bus stations or train stations, people are sleeping on the floor. There's like so many people. They are mostly women's, and in a big cities, there are some associations that they are like organizing meals for those people, like sleeping bags, clothes, toothbrushes. Like they are getting lots of help, and that help is really visible.
Cool. Yeah, that's good. I think it's mostly women and children, right? I think a lot of the men stayed. Is that what I don't really know what's
so
going on,
basically if there were guys working in the whole Europe when the war started, you could see them traveling, even 5 guys in one small car, going back to Ukraine to fight for the freedom.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Yeah, that's wild.
Imagine that,
yeah.
Yeah, I was wondering, because, like, what do you do? Like, I've thought about it myself. Do I get out while I can and, like, ditch the draft, or do you
they cannot
stay
leave
there,
the
right?
country.
The men can't leave the country, right?
No, the men between 18 and 60, they cannot leave the country. And everyone who gets into the military, I think, is getting $2,000 a month.
Okay.
And Ukrainian average income is much smaller than those $2,000.
Yeah,
I was gonna say
so it's
that.
incentive to join.
Yeah, it's a very different culture, right?
There is lots of problems because they were hanging the machine guns to the civilians to fight.
That's probably an issue. Yeah.
And right now, I'm not saying everyone, but there is a fact I know of that there are some like groups of people who are solving the old problems in the city.
What do you mean the old problems?
So basically, like a gang members or.
Oh, I see.
Oh,
like policing.
They're going out in martial law.
Yeah.
Interesting. See, that's why you hear that one guy saying, like, they don't want to just handguns to anybody. Like, you got to be coming for the right reason. If you want to kill somebody, you're not joining. You got to be here to, help.
Yeah, that could become a real
but
issue.
You never know, and they need force.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Yeah, you need numbers. Like you can't do it without numbers.
And it sounds like they're holding their ground pretty well. So I don't. Who knows really though what's actually going on?
So there are a few facts or few theories that I shouldn't really speak of because the fact is that there is a war.
Yeah.
The fact is there is dying so many people every day from Russian army and from Ukrainian army. Thousands of civilian people every day. Houses are destroyed, floods are destroyed, cities are destroyed. There is no electricity, no water, no food. Logistic doesn't work. They are dying every day. Mm-hmm. But the war or whatever event is happening up there is for a reason. And I don't really trust what they say in TV. Is it Russian TV? Is it Polish TV? Is it American TV? I think they program us with whatever message they want to send.
No, yeah, for sure, 100%.
And I'm kind of going deeper into the conflict, and I'm trying to read articles or whatever the government movements were doing to figure it out on my own. What's that war for? Mm-hmm. For sure, it's for money, but that can be beneficial for many countries.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like being in North America, like the broken telephone to get news all the way over here. Like, who knows what story we're actually getting, right?
And everyone's putting their own political twist on it or whatever. It's the same as anything, right?
Being filtered by
Yeah.
So,
certain conglomerates.
US is the only country which is in a war with other countries pretty much since World War II.
Yeah, it's insane, right?
Wherever they go, there is a war.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and it's actually kind of crazy to see not that the Ukraine, like, people should be like, yeah, support Ukraine and stuff, but no one gives a shit about the war in Yemen.
Yeah.
Where people are literally, like, it's bad over there too. It's been bad for a long time.
And then same with the Syrian war. It's crazy.
Yeah, but
exactly. Right now, it's in Europe, almost in the European Union, almost touching NATO, and this is why everyone is talking about it.
Mm-hmm.
I think there is I don't want to say what's my theory about that because no.
We all have our political opinions on this stuff, right? I'm sure.
Yeah, I've really tried not to take a hard opinion on it because there's I don't know, like, you can find every different thing about it, right?
Yeah,
so I'm not really. I just think it's
the
fucked up.
fact is that people are dying.
Yeah,
and there is normal war going on.
When you're talking about like civilian life, women, children, families. Like, I understand war and why it needs to happen at times,
how
but
it happens,
but the way we go about it sometimes, that's the worst part, when we're putting, seemingly innocent people like children at risk and killing them and stuff. It's just unnecessary.
Mm-hmm.
Somehow they dropped missiles on a hospital.
Yeah,
like stuff like that. Like, go fight a war, no problem, right?
Yeah, don't do that shit.
Yeah.
But the U.S. does that shit. They
do too.
Drones. I saw like a number of drone strikes that the U.S. has been a part of since the start of the Ukraine war, and it's like in the thousands,
really,
or hundreds. I don't know. It's a lot, and maybe thousands of people have died. That's what
no country is like absolved of any innocence in military operations and activities, I think.
No. Yeah, even we have some black spots on our history.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah, but
anyways, enough of war.
The problem, the
go ahead.
The U.S. is the only country which is putting, I think, 20% of every dollar of every income of the country into the military. So they've got pretty much economy based on the military equipment.
Yeah.
So whenever there is a war, they make money.
That's a problem.
Yeah.
They want to be involved in every conflict worldwide, anyhow, by making it happen or having own people doing a mess few years before actually the war started, and then they supplied the equipment to the one side or the other. Mm-hmm. For them, it doesn't matter if people die, how many people die, and I can say loud that in my opinion, U.S. is the biggest cartel ever.
Yeah. Well, I actually was reading an article on kind of how, like, when they got out of Afghanistan, the U.S., they left all that shit. You want to know why? Because they got to make more of it now.
Yeah.
They have big government contracts with, like, Raytheon and all these places, right?
Yeah.
So that's just money.
Well, if they leave 10 helicopters.
Well, and I don't know if you guys have seen the videos of, like, the Afghanis afterwards going into the aircraft and stuff, like they're gonna steal them, apparently decommissioned so they can't use them, but the stuff's all there, right? Like, they can strip it down, reverse engineer things.
Well, I heard a couple different stories that, like, the American military, like, sabotaged it so it wouldn't be used, but who knows, right? Who knows? It is crazy that they just packed their shit and left, and they don't even pack their shit, they just left. It is just kind of crazy that he would just abandon that much.
It
stuff.
doesn't make any sense from the doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
Anyways, enough of this war talk. So Yashk, I seen, what was it, a few months ago? You're out wakeboarding, or what was that? What were you riding?
So basically, you guys know that I was kind of living my life. So whatever possibility there was, I took advantage of it, and I was, for any trip, for any sport, I was down for any activity pretty much. And right now, when I'm in a hospital and I'm maybe thinking about my life, I want to do more of it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And I want to come up with I've got many ideas what to do when I will leave the hospital. Few are crazy. I'm lucky that my parents will not listen to that podcast, because I'll be like telling him those informations or my plan, you know, like not everything at once. But I want to build, I want to have an association and help people with spinal cord injuries get back into sports. I like extreme sports, so I think that will be the base of the association, and show them that it's a beautiful life and we are not really limited.
Totally.
Yeah.
To not doing anything. I'm lucky enough because I'm enough. I've got enough movements that I can do or live independently. I don't need help pretty much at all. But anyway, for the people with the spinal cord injuries, when there is an accident and you need to do a few adjustments, I want to show them it's possible, and I want to give them opportunity to do so.
Totally.
Yeah, I think that's a good cause, because like there's a lot of people in your situation, Jasiek, that they take it either one way or the other. They go like yourself, and this hasn't held me back at all. If anything, I'm gonna do more stuff now. It's made me appreciate the things I can do. And then there's the other people who take it the opposite way. Their life's over. They'll never be able to do anything ever again. So if you can help those people out and realizing that, like, look, yeah, this is a setback, but look how much fun we can have. I think that's pretty noble of you to want to do.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Because, like, honestly, even if you don't walk, you can do so much other stuff that it's pretty much unlimited. Like, it's honestly unlimited. And since my accident, I wasn't depressed. I didn't have any bad days except the days that I was just bored in a hospital of doing same exercises all over again every day for a year. But that's normal. It wasn't a depression about the accident or about the situation. I was just bored with daily basis.
Mm-hmm.
So when you go ahead.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
And I have a friend now, the guy who I met through my friends, who is doing seat wake. This is like a wakeboarding, but instead of the standing on the board, you are sitting on it.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
So when you're doing something like that, Jasiek, like, does it ever go through your mind of like, okay, what happens if I crash? And I don't know what your sensitivity in your legs and stuff is like, but another injury occurring without you knowing it's happening. And then like, what happens when you're in do you have enough safety stuff on that it prevents you from going upside down and drowning? Or like, what do you do?
Yes. So your legs are strapped into the board. There shouldn't be any injuries. You've got a safety vest, life vest, whatever it's called, that you're not drowning but floating on the water. You've got the helmet, and it's up to you how hard you want to go. If you want to just cruise behind a boat or in a park cable, or if you want to hit the rails and jumps.
Sweet.
Yeah, that's
Have
cool.
you hit any jumps or rails yet?
So basically, I just wanted to try it, and I was trying to do like a 360 on the water, and it was, I don't know, it was like 6 months after the accident. It was like beginning of the rehabilitation, and I say like, I came here just just check it out one time, and I don't want to push it too much, just discover what it is about, and probably next time I'll go on the water, I'll try to do those obstacles.
Yeah, that's cool. So you've only done it the one time?
I did it one time only, yeah.
How was the thrill? Was it like getting on a bike for you? Was it a super exciting adrenaline rush? Was it as fun as you thought?
So I was wakeboarding before quite a lot, and honestly, it was fun because you are in a cable park. There is a good vibe. There are awesome people. There is sun. There is water. Like awesome environment. But I tried it. It was okay. I've got other sports. I can do it, from time to time, just to hang out with people and be at the lake. But my sport of choice will be different.
Yeah,
Okay.
you're more of like that two wheels type of deal.
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah. You need some more
Yeah.
speed.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
I haven't seen him, but apparently in Whistler, there's a guy who has like an adapted downhill trike, or I think it's
That's
four-wheel.
Trevor.
And apparently he is wildly good on it. It's crazy.
This mountain biking downhill?
Mountain biking, yeah.
Do you remember watching those guys was that Panorama we were at last?
Yeah, yeah.
Even those guys were wild on those things.
Yeah, it's like a little sketchy.
Yeah,
looking.
going down like
A little, yeah.
they're going down like tight
Is it
single
like
track,
a
right?
trike?
Yeah.
That you pretty much sit like in a go-kart.
Yeah, that's what
Yeah.
these ones were like.
Yeah. They were hitting some big drops, and they were ripping down some of those gnarly, rocky tech sections.
Yeah, looked
Yeah,
like
those
they needed
are
some suspension
probably
too.
bowhead bikes.
Yeah.
Yeah. I
Uh,
think it was either a demo, or I want to say it was like someone was a part of that company was there.
Yeah.
One of those is even Polish company. I forgot the name of it.
Oh, yeah.
But there are ones that you sit like in a go-kart. The other ones that you sit like on a sport bike.
Yeah.
But they are very similar.
Mm-hmm.
I've seen it, but I've got a different idea.
Oh, yeah.
Of those bikes you are talking about, you've got even a racing series. There is like, I don't know if those are nationals or this is just Canadian series, but you've got 3 races.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Oh, I see.
That's crazy. These people
Those guys are wild.
yeah. That's
I've seen a company in England that they are making a bike with 2 front wheels. So this is basically like a normal size enduro bike with 36 mil shocks, forks. Shocks, those are called forks.
Forks,
Yeah.
36 Fox forks, and you can ride it like a normal bike. The problem is when you stop or when you slow down. Those are electric with the throttle, but this is like a bicycle. And they just made a demo of that bike end of the last year. I've sent them an email because on that demo nobody was jumping that bike. So I've asked them, is it possible to jump it? And we were talking in the beginning of the year, and probably I'll go to do some testings.
Yeah, I was just gonna say, check out the test video for Jasiek ripping up that bike.
yeah, that's gonna be gnarly. So it's like how big are the wheels?
20. Those are 27 and a half or 29.
Because this is
Those
like a
are
full size, like you're.
full-size bike with 2 front wheels.
So are you sitting
Which
down?
are
Is the seat lower, or is the seat like a regular height of a regular mountain bike?
So basically, this is adapted bike. So the seat is like a bucket
Okay.
that you're like strapped down. But I think that with few mods, that you will like make a seat longer, somehow be able to lock the lock the cranks that they are not spinning, maybe I will be able to stand up.
Hey.
Oh yeah,
That's cool.
Yeah.
Because I've seen on a motocross bike when I was back home for Christmas, and I was able to stand up.
Oh wow.
Shit.
Yeah.
Nice.
So
Yeah, I
maybe
guess
with strapping somehow my legs and stuff, I will be able to ride the normal bike.
that's sweet.
So, kind of going back into being able to stand up here, Jasiek, how's the progress feeling for you? Are you satisfied with your progress? I know you said you haven't had any depressed days or anything like that, but I think the last time we talked, you gave yourself a time limit before you were going to start entering the Paralympics.
What was it? Was it a year?
You said a
I
year.
think it
You
was a
said
year, yeah.
I'll go all over 1 year, and if not, I go Paralympics. That's what you said.
Okay. So I've got the same vision. I'm just about to leave the hospital about end of May, and then I will have to have to decide what to do. Before I will go full time into the specific sport, I want to do that series of the movies. So for YouTube, I want to do every possible sport on a wheelchair, and make a entry video that maybe some other people don't even know that there is a possibility in a city, in a country, to do that kind of sport.
That's sweet. I think
So
you
I
should do
wanna-
that.
That's a great
I want to
idea.
try every sport, and probably I will pick the one I like most. And with this one, I will go to the Olympics.
There you go.
Sweet. That's cool. That's such a badass.
I'm just going to do
but,
all the sports. Fuck it. I'll just do them all.
But lastly, I've got few other ideas because by mistake I found in French there is a series for super bikes racing for 600s, which are adapted for people, paraplegic riders on a wheelchair, and they've got the whole series. And on Tuesday there is like a day to get people into the sport. So you rent a bike, they give you equipment, they give you helmet, boots, and everything, and you are riding on a 600 GSR at the racetrack.
That'll be cool.
Yeah, that seems like something like you with what the progress you've made, you should be able to ride one of those pretty well, I would think, right?
And so I've sent them an email that I wanna be a participant of that event, but there was no spots left.
Oh yeah.
And yeah, so probably I'll go there on
Well,
Tuesday.
Surely we
I'll have
can grease somebody's pocket and get you in there. Like, money just gets you in anywhere these
So
days.
let's go buy
But
some
you know
shirts.
what I was thinking? To go a step forward. If I will try, it will be fun. If I will be riding, racing, it will be fun. But let's bring more people into the sport. And I was thinking to organize a league of mini motos.
Like YSRs and stuff?
Yeah, for people on a wheelchair. You've got supermoto wheels. In Poland, it's very popular. Pit bikes are very popular.
Yeah. Yeah, those are easy size to get into, right? For anybody too.
Yeah.
Yeah, and there is not that much to adapt the pit bike for the paraplegics, and I think it'll be awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Dang.
Yeah, everything started. I didn't tell you guys, but when I got here to the hospital, everyone was warning me like the best part of the injury is the time when you are going back home, and from the rehabilitation center you are occupied with everything, and then you go home, you open your eyes, and what to do.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And this is the time that people don't have ideas, and they are getting depressed.
Yeah, no, you gotta start thinking about what you want to do now, right? Or
Yeah.
before you go.
Well, yeah, and if you're
So
not...
that was in March, and I was not thinking long what I want to do. I opened something like a KGG, what we've got in Poland, and I was looking for old street bike that I wanted to restore, like build a cafe racer or something.
Yeah, that'd be sweet.
Yeah.
An
See,
adaptive cafe racer.
I
Yeah.
did it.
Yeah, you got one?
I got one 1984 CBX 750.
Oh, that's sick.
Nice.
I bought it. It was almost in parts, unknown shape, but it's working, and I got it working. Then I put it apart. I cut the frame. I was doing molds from the whoa. I'm missing a word. Not carbon fiber, but glass fiber.
Yeah.
Fiberglass. Yeah.
Yeah, from fiberglass, and I modified. I put the motocross handlebar. I changed the light. Did some welding cutting, and when I was for 2 months in Poland for Christmas, I was working on that bike pretty much every day, and it's almost finished.
Oh wow.
Jesus.
So tell me you're coming up with a way to make sure your chair can go around with you on this thing.
So I just start building that bike to be busy with something, and the idea was maybe to sell it and make money, because those cafe racer bikes are pretty popular these days.
Mm-hmm.
So I will take pictures, I will post online, we'll see if somebody will be interested, and in the meantime I will build a sidecar for
There you
that
go.
bike,
Yeah.
that I can put my wheelchair on side and I can ride that bike by myself.
That'd be so cool.
Perfect.
I've seen some videos of people who make like wheelchair bikes, and one guy, he rolls his wheelchair onto the sidecar and steers the bike from the
Oh,
sidecar.
what?
Yeah, it's
No
wild
way.
looking.
That's
He's just got like a steering linkage that goes from.
You have to be on a bike, you have to feel that. For me, it has to be like as close to the normal riding as it was
Yeah,
before.
totally.
Yeah.
No, you have no.
yeah. No.
Have you?
No, we don't know his conditions.
No.
We don't
Yeah,
know
yeah.
which part of the back he broke. And
I think he had a
Yeah.
power wheelchair and everything.
Have any of you guys
Okay.
ever ridden a bike with a sidecar before?
I don't know how people take turns. I feel like I
I've-
just roll over.
I've sat in a sidecar, and
So,
it feels like a little coffin that you're just gonna go.
You see those guys that are like full on riding motocross tracks, like sending like
Oh.
70-foot jumps and stuff.
They're mental. Like those guys are hanging off the side of the thing, dragging their helmets on the ground, trying to get it to
Corner,
turn.
yeah.
Like, oh my!
I just like the first thing I think about when I look at a sidecar, I'm like, how do you turn left? It's just gonna roll over.
Even the start on that
the
thing.
other guy has to go with his head really low and outside the car.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah,
balance it.
Yeah.
I was thinking more of like just like a not like just people like riding down the street with a sidecar. Like the guy's not hanging off the side there.
No.
Like I said, I took a ride in one, and they it feels sketchy.
Yeah.
It feels
Okay,
super sketchy.
I've got question, Todd.
Yeah.
Was that bike, because there are two options. They are fixed, or the bike has some movement to the right and to the left, or was it fixed?
It
with
was fixed. It was old school. It was an
No.
older like 80s bike, and it
No,
was fixed. But if it leaned, it would feel way more comfortable.
Those ones that lean, they still don't lean much. Like
No.
you're getting a little
You
bit
get
of
like
action.
10 degrees
yeah.
of lean.
This is what I'm working right now. I got in touch with my buddy because I'm engineer, and but I'm not really working in a construction and field, and so I've got an idea, and he's really good with being still involved in engineering into drafting, and we are working on that card.
Oh yeah.
How to make it
Yeah.
how to make it running, and then when it will be done, I will send it to somebody from the industry to like tell me how, what's cannot work, what they think will be okay, and keep developing the product or the thing.
Yeah, I've been thinking about that myself. Just no money to make it happen.
Yeah, it takes money.
Yeah, well, I'm in the middle of engineering and like fabricating my own little project, and it is a ton of work.
Yeah.
Ton of work.
Yeah.
Gives you a little appreciation for anybody who's
Oh,
invented something or come up with something before, hey?
Especially
Yeah.
the original prototype, right?
Yeah.
It's like there's so much little shit that can go wrong that you don't account for.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
exactly.
Oh, to copy somebody's design and make a little improvement or adjustment to it, simple, right?
Yeah.
And that's basically what I'm doing. I'm just like
What are you
taking it.
working on, Todd?
It's this camper van thing I'm talking
Oh,
about.
okay.
Cutting the roof off of minivans.
Yeah.
So like a camper cabriolet.
Yeah, it's like gonna be a Westphalia for a Dodge minivan.
If anyone wants to be an investor in Todd's startup, hit him up.
Is it the same van that we went to Washougal in?
The banana van, yeah.
Cool. That was an awesome trip.
Yeah, so that one I cut the roof off completely and it is like a mansion inside now.
Yeah, it's like, what is it, like 7 feet tall when you have it all the way up?
8 feet.
8 feet tall.
Jeez.
Mm-hmm.
You sleep in the top. You you sleep above where the roof would be. So it levers up and then you sleep up there.
Wow.
It's pretty sweet.
Yeah, it's huge now.
That's kind of complicated engineering there too.
Yeah, so that was the thing. And when I was building that one, I thought I would do it differently than the way I see Volkswagens do it. Because it doesn't lift even. It's like it lifts up higher at the front, right? So I wanted it to be level. And just that ended up being way more complicated than I thought. And now I totally see why Volkswagen did it that way.
Yeah.
The biggest problem will be to keep it waterproof, I think.
In my case, it was when you lift it up, until you've locked it in, it can like fall over.
Yeah, it can it's like a lever system, right? So it could just like come back.
Yeah, it was like
yeah.
unfolding table legs.
Yeah,
Yeah.
until you have tension on the system, it's just a loose floppy
Yeah.
mess.
Yeah.
And it's heavy too, right? So you gotta
Yeah.
you gotta figure out a spring system or a gas strut or something.
Some dampers or like you've got in a trunks in some cars.
Yeah, so I went and got springs made, like giant dirt bike foot peg springs,
Oh yeah.
and that's what I'm gonna try and use to lift it up.
Yeah, yeah.
But the whole banana van thing is already just prototype number 1, and I'm hoping to. I already want to redo it because I see where I did
know
wrong
where you
on
did better.
everything, and
How far is that project advanced? I haven't seen it.
the banana van.
Yeah.
The banana van is parked right now because the transmission blew up. But
So is that roof project finished?
yeah, I've taken out a couple trips.
Okay.
Yeah, it's
Is it on your Instagram?
I haven't used Instagram since you've been in a wheelchair.
Oh, I'm so surprised though.
So no, it's I don't have any photos of it, but it's cool.
Well, we'll send you some later.
Okay. I'm really interested in that.
We'll maybe even post it up on our band Instagram.
The banana van.
Yeah, it's sick. It's really cool. Is there an issue with the stream?
No, we're good. We're
Okay.
good. Yeah.
Yeah. So, but like, yeah, it all comes back to how much time it takes to prototype
Oh.
and do it all.
Yeah.
And like, in a way, doing it with a computer, you'd think would cut down on time, but to go from computer to a real product is still the same amount of time.
yeah.
And you might have skipped one step in your prototyping,
Yeah,
but you still run into the same amount of
Yeah.
problems because you can't, because that you run into problems with like how you manufacture something, what you've made on a computer.
Yeah,
right?
I have that problem all the time at work. It's like the draftsmen and the engineers will give us something, but it's like, oh, well, if it's like this, the bolt can't go through here. Like there's something in the way.
exactly,
Like,
right?
Yeah.
It's always something, right? So you actually get
well-
it physically.
Well, even your little roof rack there, Todd. I see the design flaw in that thing. Hey,
Yeah, getting that bolt
getting
in the
the
front.
bolt in the front. Hey.
Oh. You have to like lift it, get it like. Did you have at least a ratcheting open end?
I
or
didn't.
anything?
I did, but I lost my 12 mil, so I have 11 and 13, no 12 mil to use. So I just had to grab a normal crescent wrench and do it. But
And give it.
a little
yeah.
quarter turn.
If
turn.
that,
Yeah,
I
yeah.
want to say it's a 16th of a turn. I remember sitting there till my arm was tired, trying to turn that thing tight.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like taking out a shifter on your bike because you can barely get your hands in there. It's like you can get like a quarter turn if you're lucky at a time. It takes forever to get that screw out.
Yeah.
So
That's stupid. I hate it.
yeah, they gotta come up. I've been thinking they gotta fix that design
Yeah.
completely.
see,
Yeah, the KTM fixed it, and then when you strip the They also have to take an engine apart.
That's funny.
I always never had too much trouble with those because I would always go at them from behind, like underneath the swing arm and chain. I wouldn't try to get at 'em
I think
from
every
the
bike's a
front.
little bit different. Some of you can
Yeah.
get, if you take the skid plate off, you can get a socket underneath, but some of them you can't. You have to use like you have to get in there with a wrench.
So I had an issue one time. I used a ratcheting wrench, not like a socket.
Yeah.
So, and I was going at it because you
Uh-oh.
can get like, a ton of turns. But then I maxed out and the wrench got stuck. It maxed on the frame.
Yeah.
And I couldn't get the wrench off. Nor can you go backwards because it's ratcheting.
You have to flip it over.
You have to break the ratchet.
I was able to like smash it off, but I wrecked the bolt. Right? It was a pain.
That's funny.
Jeez.
But-
Now just imagine on a Stark Varg or an Alta, you don't have a shifter. You don't got to muck around with this shit
Yeah, you
anymore.
got-
No, you have a USB port like
yeah,
like
now
this
you got a loose
soundboard.
cable. Yeah. Oh.
Yeah, you go to settings, shifter position 5 millimeters higher.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
That's it. Oh, what I'm thinking about is like you get a bad aux cable and it
Yeah.
just you get static,
Yeah, we were talking earlier
dirt
about
bike static.
we have a problem with one of our connections here, and it's like you move the cable, barely touch it, and our sound goes to shit. So that's what it's just electronics.
Sometimes you breathe on it and it just cuts right out. Like But
How about this? What like we were saying with the Vargas bike, what's it called?
The Varg, I think.
the
Varg?
Stark Varg.
Stark Varg, yeah.
How are you gonna regulate people cheating when you have the 125 class?
Yeah,
I know.
And every
Well, I
turns
think
it up to a
at that
450.
point you'll have someone at the staging area with either a computer thing that boop, sends a message to the bike like, here's your max horsepower output, or a CDI or something of the sorts, right?
But then someone
Or
gets on
like
their
a-
app on the line and switches it.
A chip. It's got to be a hard chip.
Yeah, everyone likes
that's
like
something that you can't, go in and change it. And late enough in the stage, like I say, you literally get it when you're rolling through staging or something.
It almost
So you
be
can't
like
sit in the pits. and-
everyone having the same ignition or something.
Yeah,
Here's your
yeah.
ignition you have to use, but then
But how do you control guys from cheating now at the amateur level? You got to protest them, right? So
It'll be the same.
you would see a bike pulling on the other ones. Like if you're all supposed to be at 125, like and you see just like
or
you
someone
used
just
to, you'd see
sandbagging it a little bit. They're just like going a little
Yeah,
bit faster
right?
than they're supposed to.
So like you used to see a big boy 125 and go, oh,
You can hear
I
it.
don't know, like
You
well,
can hear it, right?
You
little
may
bit.
not hear it on an electric
That's
bike,
the
but
problem.
you'll still see it going down a straight, up a hill, coming out of a sandy turn. Like you can tell when a guy's
Yeah.
got a little extra meat.
I see that. I see that working in like at the pro level when everyone just has the same
Yeah.
map or whatever. But when you get to amateurs, like, how are you gonna?
Who cares?
Yeah.
I
anyway?
think
Fucking
there will be a
amateurs.
chip that you'll have like a chip that is hooked up to your bike, and somehow through the Wi-Fi they will know how every bike is like performing.
Yeah.
Now just picture this: we got sections on the track where there's a little Wi-Fi booster, and when you run over it, it gives you a little extra,
give you a charge.
It'll be like
like Excite Bike. You hit the
or
little.
Mario Kart.
Yes,
the
yeah,
mu-
you
the
hit the little
mushroom.
boost patch. If
Yeah.
you miss that line, I guess you're going
If you-
slow now.
If you hit like the banana, yeah, robs your power or
Yeah.
something.
It's like the Joker lane, but you gotta hit once per moto. You gotta hit the Joker
Yeah.
lane and you get your little boost.
Little boost line. Yeah, that'd be good. There's a lot of creative options now with this technology.
So do you think there will be a few classes for those electric bikes, or there will be one electric?
It would have to be a few.
Probably, I don't know, maybe at
I think you'll have
first.
two
just
still.
Yeah,
You'll
you
have
have to.
low horsepower, high horsepower,
beginner,
or-
intermediate, or whatever.
Yeah, like you have.
Electric as a 2-stroke and the electric as a 4-stroke?
Yeah, something
Yeah.
like that.
I think they'll just put a horsepower limit on it. They'll say, okay, this is a 40 horsepower class. This one's a 60 horsepower class.
60
That's
horse.
fucking pretty
Isn't
cool.
it 80?
80, that's what it is.
Yeah,
Yeah,
80.
Max,
80.
yeah.
But it probably doesn't last very long at 80
No,
horsepower.
that's
right?
for like hill climb.
Yeah,
or
but that's why
something.
they designed it for 80, so you're
Yeah,
not
same with
running
drag
at
racing.
max all the time. If you always run the bike at max, the
Yeah.
battery's going to last. But if it can do 80 and you're only running it at 45. And I was thinking about this the other day. Like, everybody thinks, oh, wide open for 35 minutes, that thing's going to be drained. Who the fuck rides wide open?
Depends on the
yeah,
traffic.
You're
yeah.
maybe
Not
on the
even,
throttle
though.
like 10% of the track even. Like,
Yeah.
Especially wide open,
Yeah,
right?
but if you are on 125 and you've got like, skills.
yeah, well,
The thing is, at a 125, you're only using half the power.
that, and you're only wide open because you're in the wrong gear, you're in the wrong meat of the power. Like, you have to have that thing wide open, otherwise it ain't moving, and you're just clutching the shit
Yeah.
out of it the whole time.
Like if you listen to Roxon ride, I bet he's wide open maybe like 2 straightaways or something, right? He's
Yeah.
just like sounds so quiet.
Yeah,
Or
no,
Christian
I saw
Craig.
a
Yeah, on a
thing
big
on-
bike, but on a small CCs, you are wide open or you're going nowhere.
Yeah, but at least with the Stark Varg or whatever, if it's at a 125, you're only using like half of the power that's there. So at least it's not.
Oh yeah,
gonna-
yeah.
Yeah.
Less of a drain.
Well,
Yeah.
and the power's there too. Like,
Yeah.
you're not waiting for the power
Well-
halfway down the straightaway. It's just there, and then you're probably shutting off and coasting because you're scared. You're going so fast already.
Yeah, where was I going with that? Oh, yeah, I saw a thing on the way they build MotoGP engines, and it was a KTM thing, and the KTM MotoGP 250 and their motocross 250F.
Yeah.
And the MotoGP engine is huge. It's like 2 feet tall
Yeah.
because their valve train is crazy. And it makes like
They've got longer stroke.
yeah, they got a long stroke and they use air-driven valve train.
Oh yeah, yeah,
And it makes like 53 horse or something.
yeah.
But they use max power like 70% of the time on a track, and motocross uses it 30.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
Yeah. Think about how much time you're in the air, coasting, braking.
yeah.
Mhm.
Right.
whereas a bike, MotoGP bike, especially the 250Fs, they are wide open, like
The whole
literally 3/4
Yeah,
way around
yeah.
the track.
Yeah.
So
That'll be interesting to see how it all plays out, because everybody's just behind a keyboard just going, oh, this and that, coming up with wild scenarios in their head, and it's like, who actually rides like that? Like, if you put a bike right now, gas engine bike, full throttle for 30 minutes, how long does a gas tank actually last?
If it's wide
You
open,
know?
you're gonna. Well,
Well,
I guess it depends on the load on the
Dog
bike.
load on the bike and everything too, right? So, I mean, we see 450s run out of fuel at the Nationals all the time at sandy, hot days,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah. Yeah. Apparently, Tortelli was doing like 35-minute motos on this Varg.
Dan, I'm pretty
So-
sure he twists the throttle harder than
Oh,
me,
yeah.
so I'll be
Yeah,
okay.
you'll be fine.
Yeah.
All you vet guys will be fine.
Yeah. Yeah.
But the problem is, like, how do you charge it? What do you do one moto and then what do you do?
I guess
Still have
that's
second
where.
battery.
Yeah, second battery.
Second battery, and they're gonna come out with these fast chargers, right? That it's like
You'll pull up
10 minutes.
You'll
or
pull up to the
something,
track
or-
and be all
yeah.
these Tesla superchargers.
Yeah.
So, and I think in like Asia, where they do the moped thing
Yeah.
like crazy, all the big manufacturers are working on agreeing on like a spec battery
Yeah.
that they can.
Well, isn't that
used
what the
for-
big five have already said? They've already come out and said they all use the same technology for the battery, right? So that, because if one of you is behind too, your bike's useless.
Yeah.
If you're a little bit of power off, a little bit of this, your bike's garbage now. Like,
Well,
nobody's gonna buy
At the
it.
beginning, but as long as sport will be progressing, same with four strokes.
Yeah.
In the beginning of the four-stroke era, there was a big differences with the manufacturers.
Yeah,
with the
you're right.
motocross bike in 90s, there were like fast bikes and not very fast bikes. But today, they are very similar. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
it will be the same with the technology evolvement or improvement.
Yeah, I think the spec battery is just a thing to keep it competitive on like a manufacturing
Yeah.
scale.
Yeah, and easy for everyone to get the stuff.
Just to get the market to flip over too. I think once you see the market flip, then the manufacturers will
Yeah.
split off. Same thing happened with the four strokes. You had Kawasaki and Suzuki together.
Mhm.
Yeah, you have the same thing in vehicle, road vehicles happens all the time. All these manufacturers just share technology
Mhm.
until they're in the market, build, trust in the market, and then they go off and do their
Yeah.
own thing and split after. So
Mhm.
there's going to be a lot of change happen in the industry probably next 10 years.
Oh, big time.
So, what do you think if we'll go into those electric bikes? And I think there is already an electric series signed up for next year or even a couple rounds this year, there will be at the European Championship level. I think it's European Championship level. That Starkvark was very involved to put that on a schedule. Like if you compare the production electric bike with the GP bike, what improvements they've done on those bikes.
So what are you saying? You think they should like bring?
No, I'm just thinking like, is it like a chip only, or there will be like
like a factory e-bike? Is what you're saying?
Factory e-bike, like when you're like not wiring the copper with the by the device on a production line, but actually it's hand rewinded or something.
Yeah, like what's the difference between a factory? Well, honestly, I'm pretty sure at this point, the biggest improvements for factory bikes is the chassis and suspension.
And just power delivery too, putting the power where they want it.
And I think
but in US you need to keep the stock frame from the production bike, and I think the engine cases are of the production bike, but in Europe there are custom made frames.
Yeah. And apparently they'll go different frame for different races, right? Like they have a bunch of different frames they choose from, which is insane.
Well, just think about if you could lengthen your frame up, shorten it up for different tracks. Like you go to Tabor, you put on that nice tight turning track. Go to Edmonton where you're going fifth gear wide open down half the place.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So Jasiek, are you saying like they'll have like an EMX e-bike class? Is that what you're saying?
I was reading that somehow beginning of the year that they the Starkvark sign up with FIM.
I think I saw that too. And like Honda is actually going to race their bike in it.
Yeah, because they have a prototype too, right?
A couple of these different manufacturers are going to
obviously
race
KTM is going to. KTM's already been pushing. They've had their free ride bike for like a couple 10 years now.
Yeah.
And they even did like, I want to say they did like intermission demo races at those big events.
Well, did you see that Can-Am is going to be coming out with an electric line too?
Probably going to be a trail bike,
but supposedly it's just an Alta.
Oh, really? They just like
bought the
perfect.
Perfect. That is like more than enough, as long as it's not a moped.
I'm sure they put some different, work into it, but
if they do
it sounds like,
if they do the black and orange colorway, and
I think
what was the Black Widow, whatever they called it back in the day?
Yeah.
Oh, that
it was Black Widow or Black Betty, whatever it was. Yeah.
Yeah. That would be really cool. That'd be fun.
Yeah.
Old school nostalgia for a new
another bike that'll whole shot a race but won't make the first turn.
Exactly. Well, who knows what they're going to use for suspension.
The old bikes. Did you guys watch the Bradshaw racing in
Damon Bradshaw?
Yeah.
England?
Like what? How long ago are you talking?
This is like last week. Jasiek, are you there?
Last week, yeah.
I think you broke up for a sec.
Hello.
Are you there?
Hello.
Hello.
We
hear me?
We got him.
We can hear you. Can you hear us?
Yeah. About Bradshaw, he was racing on 17 years old RM252 stroke nationals in England.
Yeah, the British Championship.
Oh, he was racing at the actual British Championship. Shit, I thought it was at like the.
What that castle race or whatever?
Yeah, MXDN for vintage bikes or.
No, this was like I didn't watch it. I saw some video highlights of it, but it's pretty cool.
Well, he was 14th.
14th?
Dang.
Yeah, but I think he was racing a 250 class on a 252 stroke.
Oh yeah.
Well, they let that happen.
Still, he's got to be what, pushing 50.
Oh yeah.
And on a what year did you say? 86.
No, 17 years old. That was 2005 or 2004. One of those best RM
still a
bikes ever
good,
made.
decent bike at least. Then, yeah.
Well,
it's got
Rhino rode that like 85 Honda.
Yeah.
At
Loretta's,
and like honestly, if he got a good start, he probably would have been. Did he win any classes? I thought someone checked
know
out.
If he won.
I don't think he won. He was like top 5, I think, though.
Yeah, that was in 2013.
No, this one happened.
This was like last year. Yeah.
Yeah, last year at Loretta's.
Yeah. Emig was on his 125.
Like, years ago, that was the same. That there was a kid on 19.
Oh,
yeah.
Jerry Robin.
Oh yeah.
Jerry Robin, I remember that.
Mike Brown beat Rhino. That's who it was.
Yeah.
The last year or the year before.
But Emig, I had no idea Emig was still that quick.
Yeah.
Holy. I don't know what. Did he win his class? Because
I think he was really close. Like, well, he was in the same class.
I think
These guys all rode together.
I think Rhino and Emig were battling it out
Yeah.
for
Oh,
second. I think Brownie won though. I think.
Yeah.
Was Brown on
I didn't
125?
even
No.
know about
450.
that
Yeah.
race.
Who?
I didn't even know about that race that you are talking.
Yeah, Google or YouTube it. I think it's
Yeah.
Loretta Lynn's.
It's going to be like Vet 40 or
2021 maybe?
something.
21.
Plus 40 Master.
Whoa, that was cool to watch for sure.
Yeah, it's all the old pros. Like, and a lot of ones you don't really remember, like Keith Johnson and stuff.
Yeah.
And people who are like supercross racers from like the early 2000s. And they still all haul ass. It's cool.
Yeah.
But that will be very interesting because, like right now, Chad Reed got a kid and they are into racing.
Yeah.
And Brian Deegan the same. There is lots of other races who are same age.
Tim
And they've
Ferry's
got
kid.
Kids who are going back into racing, and those dads are still on a bike. So when the kids are racing, the dads will race, and that will be, like our heroes from 10, 15 years ago are racing again.
Yeah, that'd be really cool. And like, could you imagine if Stu hopped
Stu?
on for vet class
Yeah.
at Loretta?
Yeah, think about if like Stu and like Tomac got kids now. Once they get older, it's like Stu and Tomac going for the plus 50 class, and their kids are racing. That'd be cool. But yeah, like there's tons of kids now that are like Nick Way's kid. There's Tim Ferry's kid, Deegan's kid. Chad Reed's kids starting to race. Like, it's gonna be cool to see if any of these kids actually make. I know Evan Ferry has already got like a factory deal
Really?
with Husky. He's gonna be pro, I think, next year. So that's
I
gonna
didn't
be
realize
weird.
that quick. Yeah, Wyndham has a couple kids. I don't know if they ride though.
I don't know. Yeah, I haven't.
Living
I
the
could see him
farm
just
life.
like living on the farm, then coming out as pro.
Yeah,
Yeah,
true,
like
right?
what he did for nationals, that national MX race, whatever it's called, with Ryan Sipes and Travis Pastrana.
Oh,
racing
yeah.
for Puerto Rico.
Oh
yeah.
they're racing for donations for Puerto Rico. Yeah.
Yeah,
Is that
yeah.
happening again?
I don't know. I'm sure someone will ride for Puerto Rico. It'll probably be like, I could see like, I don't know.
No, I was just saying the same. How he got off from the farm back on the bike. and
Yeah, he did that with-
top 10.
Yeah, that's funny. He did it like 4 or 5 years ago.
The one in Red Bud, right?
No, I think it was maybe.
Yes, Red Bud.
Was it? So a couple years
It was
ago.
raining day,
Yeah.
raining race.
So you got any plans to come back over to Canada, or I want to go to Red Bud Donations this year. You should come for that.
When is that?
September, I think.
Man, I still cannot plan that far.
Yeah, yeah. You're too spontaneous in your adventures.
Yeah. For sure, I will come for a visit. I don't know what I will be doing when I get back home. I've got... To Canada I will come for sure, but probably I will just put my Canadian SIM card in my phone and I will call you, hey, what's up?
Yeah, let's get a call one day from Ash. Like, hey, well, we got to hang out, bro.
Yeah.
You just show up. So when you said you're leaving the hospital in May, are you gonna go back to Poland then? Is that your plan?
So I will go end of May. My buddy just sent me info about that camp he's making on a seat wake. Maybe I will go for 4 days. Do that. I've got a wedding that I'm going to of my buddy from Dakar. That's middle of June, and then is Erzberg rodeo race.
Oh yeah, Erzberg.
Erzberg in Austria, Red Bull, the biggest event for hard enduro ever.
Yeah.
And I wanna do that race. I wanna watch that race this year, and I wanna race it next year. That's my goal.
You want to race at Erzberg?
Yeah.
That would be insane, man. That's nuts. Do they have like an adaptive class?
No, but But there is a prologue for that race, and the prologue is like a Dakar race that you like 130 kilometers wide open on a gravel road.
Oh,
Okay, yeah,
like
that
the
would-
fire roads, yeah.
And this is the prologue for the Erzberg, and there is like 1,000 people participating. So it's very fast, and if you are sitting or standing on a bike, you don't have chance to like support yourself in the corners. It's not technical race.
Okay.
Yeah, so that sounds like something that could be right up your alley. That's cool.
Yeah, so I want to be the first one who'll try to participate to make it to Erzberg.
Nice.
That'd be sweet.
And honestly, guys, I think it might be possible
Oh yeah.
Yeah, you could-
because
for
Almost-
you, of course.
you can adjust the bike. I'm looking for the options how the guys got the bike adapted these days, and there is Doug Henry, who is still racing, and he's the only one who on a seat put like a bicycle shock. So when he has
Yeah.
like two shocks in the back, one is for the swing arm to the frame, and the other one is from the frame mounted to the seat where is your subframe.
yeah, just give you a little more cushion there.
Because
Yeah,
you are
'cause you
not
see a lot of
absorbing
people
anything
getting-
with your legs.
You see a lot of people getting bucked when
Yeah.
you sit right.
Yeah, you hit like
Yeah.
bump and just kicks you a bit.
Yeah, Henry's been at it for a while, and his bike setup is sweet, and he rips. Like,
Yeah.
Does he still run the old Yamaha too?
I think so.
Like he has like an
Cool.
old
The-
Doug Henry's bike is like a 2007 or something that he just keeps working on. I think.
yeah, the last video
so
I
he's
saw
still
was that.
racing and he's still riding. He's very involved in the motorcycle community, but he's on a brand new 450.
Brand new now.
Brand
He
new.
must
Okay,
have just
good, good.
upgraded. Yeah.
Because yeah, he had an older Yamaha, like the
Oh.
carbureted one.
Yeah.
That it was just the Frankenstein.
Yeah, I'm sure though, like
Okay,
to make an adaptive bike's not that cheap. So once you got one, not cheap and not easy to do either. So once you've got it, you kind of run
So
it for a bit.
You have to do it yourself because there is nobody. You can, like take a production bike, put a bucket seat on it, and build a little cage, and you are good to go. But you are not standing, so you change the gravity, and your gravity center is kind of fixed.
Yeah.
And you're not absorbing anything with your legs. So, in my opinion, you have to get the second shock on the seat.
Yeah.
You-
That's sorry.
You know what an
I'm gonna get
adaptive bike needs? The full floater.
full floater.
That system would be wicked for an adaptive
What's
guy.
that?
So 1981-82 RM. They had this full floater system, and I swear it's better than anything I've ever ridden. Still, it is
I've
so
never-
good.
I've never heard of this.
Oh, it's unreal.
Yeah. I
the
think
biggest braking bumps, and it's so plush over it, and you can still flatland like the finish line jump,
Really?
and it's good. It looks like this ancient junk, but I swear by it. It's unreal.
I have to look it up.
Yeah, look it up.
It's interesting. I want to say it's the way a lot of mountain bike companies do their suspension now.
Could be.
I think motocross kind of went with the single pivot swing arm, but I think the full floater is a virtual pivot. Is that what it is? Is there? I don't know how the linkage
Honestly, I
system
couldn't
works.
tell you. I'm not that smart, so I just know I got on that old bike and was like, okay, this thing's gonna suck, and you just gain more and more confidence every lap. And even though there's no brakes, I swear I ride it faster than any bike I do now.
That's funny. The old vintage.
Yeah,
Okay, I will look it up. Maybe it makes sense.
Yeah,
I
maybe.
think so. Yeah,
But well, that kind of comes back to doing the road racing. It makes sense why adaptive works so good on like a 600 sport bike, because you don't have to deal with big braking bumps,
yeah.
right? So
And-
adaptive on a sport bike, probably you probably can start going really fast, really quick.
Well, and you want your center of gravity kind of low and central in one of those a bit, don't you?
Yeah, but if you are fixed and you cannot lean on sides, everyone has got the same.
Yeah.
And you will not. It's not dangerous because of those braking bugs that will nothing will send you over the handlebar.
Yeah.
Maybe a
Of
little.
course, if you high-sided,
Yeah, I was
then
gonna
it's
say
game
high
over
side.
because you're fixed to the bike.
Whew, imagine
Ooh.
that. Ooh, that
Yeah,
could end
well,
up- That's why you need the cage, though, right?
I'm sure they must have a way of coming off the bike, like mountain
Well,
bike pedals or something.
Eject.
You know, I was looking how those guys are attached to the bikes, and mostly those are those binding straps with the ratchet.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
So,
So there's
Super
no
So you're stuck.
there's no eject
Yeah.
button.
Jeez.
That's
Everything. See, that's what I was talking about. Like even with the wakeboarding, I'm like, you end up upside down. How you flipping back over?
Yeah, that's part of the game, I would say.
well, it'd be just like whitewater kayaking, right?
Yeah.
You just figure out
You-
the technique to get up and out.
And I suppose if you're wearing like a proper flotation device on your chest that's designed to,
it'll be
you know-
easier to flip up back
Yeah.
Yeah,
over.
you will not put your back up the water, and your head will be like still under the water.
yeah. But
Oh.
I guess any of the adaptive stuff, you kind of also got to maybe have someone there, like safety wise.
that, and I think there's just so many different techniques you learn right off the bat. Like
Yeah.
if you are getting into whitewater kayaking, the first thing you got to learn is
How to roll.
How
Yeah.
to roll. So I'm sure with any adaptive sport,
Yeah.
the first thing you got to learn is something else,
I
right?
don't know yet.
Yeah.
I don't know yet, but there has to be way.
Yeah.
I'm just thinking like if you high side and the bike goes tumbling, man, that's
I don't want to
thinking
think about that. I want to know it can happen and like be careful. But
Yeah,
same with those seat skis.
Oh yeah,
Oh.
dude. And
for
some of those
winter,
guys
those
are
guys-
wild.
Oh.
Doing like 120 on a seat ski.
yeah. I guess it's the same with anything. Like shit can go sideways at any point doing anything.
I
So
was at Sunshine the other day, and there was a guy ripping down a set of moguls on one of those chairs. It was impressive. Like, probably better than 90% of the population on actual skis.
Oh yeah.
yeah.
And this is very fun. I almost tried it this year, but at the time we were planning to go into the mountains, and they hooked me up with the equipment. I was working on as I told you guys, on my bike, and I've got really bad blood flow, and my feet are sometimes very cold. And I was
Oh.
working in my garage, and I got the feet defrost,
Frostbite.
Oh,
Oh wow.
frostbites. Yeah,
sheesh.
And you didn't
and,
know.
and I didn't know because I don't feel.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've heard about like people like I heard a story about a dude who can't feel his legs, and they were at a campfire. And he
Ooh.
was so close to the campfire, he roasted his feet and didn't even know. He
That's
had
possible.
he had to get skin grafts on his
I was
toes
gonna say,
and
just
stuff.
start smelling it, going, "What's that smell? Oh boy, that
Human flesh.
Yeah, that's not funny. When I've sent the pictures to my doctor, and he says we've got 3 days or we've got a big problem.
Oh shit.
yeah. Oh, for real.
Yeah. Wow.
So did you get all recovered from that? Because
They closed my workshop, and I had to be at home with my feet not in a socks and close to like heating devices.
yeah.
So
But
you gotta
to
get you
get
some
the
heated
airflow.
socks. Gotta get you some heated socks then, eh?
Yeah, like I had no idea that I will need anything like that, right?
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
man, I almost lost my toes. That's not joke.
Yeah.
No.
The stuff you don't think about.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Jeez.
Well, I will tell you. So I was working in a workshop, and I was using a grinder. And sometimes it happens that the grinder just pops out from your hand.
Oh, yeah.
because It happens. And man, I was grinding on the table. The grinder popped out. It hit the bench, and it landed on my laps,
Ooh.
on my
Oh.
belly.
Ooh.
But I was lucky enough that I wear like a baggy hoodies, and that disc
Didn't get
uh,
caught.
It got caught on a hoodie. It ripped the hoodie, but it stopped.
Oh man. Yeah, I've had my fair share of close calls with like chop saw blades exploding and grinder wheels like coming up, like getting like when you're grinding something and you're using a cutting wheel and you're cutting in, and then it's like it's caught, and then it goes
Yeah,
Yeah,
kicks.
yeah. This is exactly what it happened.
Yeah, that shit can go sideways quick.
Man, but I don't feel. So if I would cut myself, I wouldn't know.
Yeah.
And I sit off. I went off the wheelchair and I was looking everywhere if there is any blood, because it's impossible that the grinder landed on your legs and you are not hurt, right?
Yeah, no kidding.
Fuck, I was so scared.
I bet.
Yeah.
So,
And,
go ahead, Jasiek.
I told my parents the next day, because I was, in garage by myself up to very late hours, sometimes 2, 3 in the morning. And when I told my parents what happened, like, they didn't want me to be alone, and there was like somebody at home, like, waiting if I will come back
Yeah.
safe back home.
Yeah.
So your garage and shop space, is that at your house or?
That's at my parents' place.
And how is it getting around your parents' place in a chair?
It is extremely fucked up. So the parents' house, it's on a hill, and there is no way that I can get from the car to the house on a wheelchair but myself. It's so steep that it's impossible. So every time I was going out, somebody had to help me. Or if I was like driving down the hill, I was on a blocked both wheels and kind of like damage control.
Skidding.
Yeah, sliding down the hill and just trying to hit the fence in a spot that I can hold with my hands, not sliding through something.
God.
So that will have to be updated somehow. Maybe we'll build a handrail.
A winch.
And I will.
Get a winch. Get a winch and just drag
there we
yourself
go.
out.
No. We'll get a handrail and a crutch somehow, like, handy all the time there, that I can use by myself.
Yeah.
But the house, so the garage is like kind of on the house is so elevated. So the garage is, let's say, on a basement. So that's one floor. The other floor is living room, and the other floor is my room.
Oh,
So you're on the top floor?
Jeez.
Yep. And my parents wanted to move my room downstairs, and I said it's not happening. It's absolutely not happening that they are moving my room. But with the crutch and the handrail, I can walk stairs.
oh wow.
That's pretty cool. Yeah, so you can just
Yeah.
hobble up the stairs, kind of.
It takes me time, but I can walk it, and I've got one wheelchair on the floor where is my room. There is the other wheelchair just to be at home at the ground level, and there is one wheelchair I use for daily basis and for garage.
Cool.
Crazy.
Yeah, it sounds like you got a good system worked out, and it's also probably good for you to do those stairs and to work those
Yeah.
muscles and.
Yeah. Because I'm like, walking stairs is part of my daily exercise, and I walk stairs for like hour. I can do 2.5 floors in 8 minutes up and down. And last week, first time, I did 5 stairs, 5 floors with no break, up and down.
That's awesome. That's
Yeah,
serious progress.
So from now on, I think the progress will be like with your normal muscles, that you are building the strength
Totally.
and endurance. So it takes time.
Yep.
There is no shortcut about that. But if I can do 5 floors, I can do 10 in next few months.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Those are good goals to have, right? Keep pushing forward and
Yeah.
keep that mindset that you can keep working and improving, right?
The good part is, as everyone racing dirt bikes, we put so much effort into our training in the off season, and riding bikes was one thing, and the other one was get in shape to be able to ride a dirt bike. So the training and sport is part of my life since I remember, and now I just will transform it into doing sport as a rehabilitation, and doing that every day.
Yeah, you're kind of like uniquely qualified for this, right? Like you've been through trying to be get in shape and all this stuff, so it's nothing groundbreaking for you to have to try and overcome these challenges.
No, not really. There is so with the challenges, I was solving the survey of the some a developing process for people who are in a wheelchair, and they ask me what's the most difficult situation when you are on a wheelchair, and I've told them that when you are at the party and you are drinking a beer, you cannot walk and drink a beer at the same time.
Yeah.
Because, everything what's on a daily basis, that's the challenge, that you just have to adjust your mindset that this is how it is. It takes longer, you have to go around and so on.
Yeah, you're really screwed if you're trying to drink 2 beers at once.
Oh, man.
Eh?
Yeah, you probably get
Now
a
you're really
DUI.
stuck.
Yeah, maybe you can solve it with like having some holder, but every
Oh, the
cup
beer hat.
in every
There we
bar
go.
is different.
Beer hat.
The beer hat, Jasiek. You need a beer hat.
The helmet.
The helmet. That's funny.
Yeah.
So what's like a typical day for you right now? Are you doing physio a few times a day? Is it pretty busy, or is there a lot of like recovery time too? What's your day like?
Basically, I shut down my normal life and I put 100% into the rehabilitation, and I'm working like 9 hours a day. Sometimes it's 8, sometimes it's a little bit more. I'm up at 8, getting ready, having breakfast, and 9:30 I start the physiotherapy until 12. At 12, I go on a stationary bike. I ride for 30 minutes. Now I've just started doing some intervals, and then I've got lunch at 12:30. I eat something, and I need to go to sleep. I need to take a nap because it takes so much energy that I need to take a nap. Then around 1:32, I go to the physiotherapy, doing exercises, walking stairs. Lastly, we started a few months ago doing the rowing exercise, like rowing. It's called rowing, right?
Like on a Concept 2 rowing machine?
Yep.
Yep.
And I do that for 30 minutes, also doing 2 kilometers intervals every 5 minutes, whatever the training plan is. But this is like close to the normal warm-up. I can hit my heart rate up to 182.
Nice.
I did last week, so this is like a normal training. Around 4 o'clock, I go to the gym and I stretch. Then I've got like an hour for myself. And at 6, I'm doing electrostimulation by myself in my room. So putting electro pads on the muscles and contracting them with the electric currency, doing that an hour for each muscle. And around 10, 11, I go to bed.
So a pretty busy day for you. Is that like 7 days a week? You're doing that every day?
No, that's 5 days. I do it 5 days a week. When I'm doing the electrostimulation in my room, I can watch a movie, I can text, like be on the internet, but I cannot do anything what I'm involved mentally, that I cannot think, I cannot write, I cannot do any mathematical solving problems, because I have to concentrate on a muscle movement.
Oh, yeah.
So
I get it.
So-
you have to very, very focused in on
So all my
Controlling
focus
the
is on-
muscle, yeah.
Exactly. So I can like watch a movie and still like do the exercises. But the biggest problem here is with sleep. It's loud. I'm not sleeping very well. Now I'm taking melatonin to help with sleeping. But sleeping part is the worst part. Being in a rehabilitation, I talk with many people, and everyone's got a problem with that. It's about the bed. It's about the noise, because the nurses are going back and forth at night sometimes, and even with the earplugs, it just wakes you up.
Yeah, that's hard.
Yeah. Have you been doing getting into any kind of like meditation or anything like that?
I was doing meditation. I was very hard into it, but then it's always just an excuse. But if I've got those 30 minutes or an hour, I'm usually putting another stimulation session on the muscles instead of the meditation, and I slow down with it, which I really regret, and I should do more, because with your mind and meditation, I think you can do like more miracles and impossible things with your body.
Yeah,
Totally.
it's insane actually once you start like reading about it, and like the breathing exercises. If you look into Dr. Joe Dispenza, he has all kinds of crazy stuff on meditation.
Oh, I was reading his book. I think two books actually, and he has a couple techniques combined into one, like Wim Hof.
Yeah.
From different techniques, he put whatever he thought will work the best, and it does. 100% it does work.
Yeah. I'm listening on Audible right now. I'm listening to Becoming Supernatural by Joe Dispenza. It's pretty crazy stuff. He has a good series on I think it's called Gaia, Gaia. It's it's like a Netflix, but it's all like kind of like science and
I haven't
stuff
heard
like
about
that.
it.
Yeah, it's like you can get I did a free trial of it. It's pretty worth it. There's lots of cool stuff on there.
How was it?
Gaia, I think, and it's a streaming service. You can I just watched it on my laptop or whatever.
Okay.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. Check it out.
I got one more question for you. What, since you've been basically using your arms 80% of the time, are you getting jacked?
I think so, because quite often the guys are touching my boobs and they're saying they've got huge muscles.
You're getting yoked.
At the rehabilitation, I think that I always had pretty big hands, but for sure that's normal that you use your hands every day. I think they got bigger in size.
Oh, yeah.
Get them.
But the problem is that I'm not using that much antagonist muscles, which are on the back.
Oh,
And
yeah.
No.
my shoulders start moving forward.
Yeah, you got that imbalance now.
Yeah.
Exactly. And when I will, go back to normal life, I will go to gym or, start working on my back again to compensate it.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
rowing
should
help that. Yeah.
Hopefully, yeah.
All right, you got anything else for Jasiek? Or Yash, you got anything else to get off your chest? Any?
Man, it's been good catching up with
Yeah,
him.
it's good.
It's been a while.
I can tell you about adventures maybe I got into
Yeah, let's hear
When
one more adventure.
when I went. So I went for a first week back in Paris after a break, and I ended up at the middle of the demonstration. It was a political demonstration against the government. Oh, that's cool. Let's see what's going on. And after 7 minutes, the police start shooting with the paper spray.
And the rubber bullets and
And
stuff.
yeah.
They went into the crowd, and I had to run for my life with the crowd.
Crazy.
And then it was like 200-300 meters. I stopped and I wanted to see what's happening up there. And then they start shooting again, and I got with the pepper spray.
Oh, shit.
And
Ooh.
the worst part was running or riding on a wheelchair when you are crying, coughing,
Oh yeah.
can't see anything, and you have to steal the wheelchair down the hill.
Yeah, you're just freewheeling it.
Yeah.
Are you? Is it pretty like tight COVID? Are you still like wearing a mask everywhere in the hospital? Or
No, they dropped the restrictions.
oh, that's
last
good
month.
then at least.
So
That's-
there is no travel restriction. There is almost no COVID restrictions. We are back to normal life pretty much.
Cool. Anything else, Chris? You got anything else for Jasiek?
No, I think I want to catch up with him again sooner.
Yeah,
It's
we
too
should-
long.
Yeah, it's kind of hard to. It's late over there already,
Yeah.
isn't it? What is it, like 8 o'clock over there?
It is 7:40 p.m.
Oh, not too bad.
Not too bad, yeah. So, yeah, it's good to catch up with you, Jasiek. Yeah, we should do it soon.
Okay, awesome. Thank you very much for having me. I was worrying about my English because I haven't been talking proper English for a long time. In a hospital, I don't really speak French and they don't speak English, so my English is very broken to communicate. And I was thinking about Tamala when every time she says, "Oh, Jasiek, whenever I see you, your English is fucking worse and worse." And I'm very. I really want to know what she will say this time.
Yeah. So how do you communicate?
So that's broken English and broken French.
Man, it sounds
My
rough.
doctors speak English, and some people from the physiotherapy team speak English, and they basically are the translators. You just pull up your phone, go to Google Translate, and voila.
Yeah. I thought your English was fine. No problem.
Yeah.
Other than what is the one thing? Series or serious?
Serious.
That's the only thing I'll tell you. That's funny though.
Yeah.
That's all right.
No, it's gotta be hard though. Like
Oh,
I've always
man, I
said
can
that.
imagine.
I've always said that learning a second language can't be easy because like other languages, things are phrased in a different way. Like it's backwards than us, and
And then just jumping back and forth seems. I don't know. There's lots of people I work with that are like speaking different language on the phone, and then they'll talk to you, and like I don't know how. That seems tough.
So all you multilinguists out there, congratulations. You're better than the rest of us.
Yeah. All right, Jasiek. Yeah, thanks for coming on, and we'll talk to you soon.
You guys should have Boston on a podcast.
I actually was thinking about that today too.
I've met him at the Paris Supercross, and maybe I'll try to do a GP in Lockett. And he's living pretty good life.
Yeah, we should have. We had him on before, but before he left, but we should get him back on.
Yeah. Catch up with him in a
Okay,
GP race.
I've got one more question to you guys.
Okay.
When are you coming for a visit to Poland?
I think we're going over there next summer for a wedding. We're going to Scotland, but we're talking about making a little trip out of it, trying to go see you, go to a GP maybe. I don't know. Lots of details to be figured out though. We're gonna have a little kid, so it's gonna be kind of chaos.
Interesting.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay. That will be cool.
Yep.
Okay. Thank you very much.
It's a beautiful life.
For having me here. Good times. Take care.
Beautiful life. See you later, buddy.
Beautiful life. See ya.
The beautiful life. Thanks, guys.
J'ai pas dormi, j'ai qu'une part. Mais je peux pas tomber plus bas. Gros, la douleur ne tue pas. Je ne sais pas de quoi tu me parles.